I would like to make an overview of the bike. Let's check out all of its features. Let's check out the bike and inspect somehow the bike like an owner would do. Check out some of these hidden features, some of its how this everything gets put it together. Let's make a round of the bike and check out some of this interesting stuff which I'm gonna show you in this video. Let's see how the bike is built. Let's check out the build quality of this bike, because we saw it so many times online since its launch, and now I have the possibility to show it also to you in a much better detailed way. All right, let's check out the plastics first. These fenders, the rear fenders, they are from a plastic which is quite thick. I think it's thicker than I was expecting, and the paint looks quite a quality one. Here there is a sticker. Actually, this is an actually sticker. This is not printed on the plastic, this Transalp logo. Although it's printed on this this petrol tank, which is of course metal, and this metal part, it's thicker on this side, as you can hear it. It's thicker on this side and thinner on the sides. Thicker on top, thinner on the sides, and this logo, it's actually printed. It's printed here. All right, let's get back to the plastics. What I don't like, it's are these screws, which on my previous NC750X you don't see it, but now we have three. We have one here, one in front, and also one on the bottom. Yeah, you have to check it from time to time, because from the vibrations sometimes these bolts can get loose. And another thing which I've noticed, first time when I bought it, there was a higher distance over here between the petrol tank and this rear fender, so I need to open them and readjusted realign actually these fenders with the other plastic parts and with the tank, with the petrol tank. So have to check also the distance. And a thing which I like is that underneath this fender there is a buffer, I think like a sponge buffer, which takes over the vibrations and the noise, possible noise, eventual noise that can come from the vibrations of the bike or from traveling. So underneath, from between this one and this petrol tank, we have this buffer, which actually it's very nice to see. I don't think you can see it, but when I have the chance to take off one of the fenders, I can show you. Also, you don't have to tighten them up too much, because you risk to break this this fixing system, so careful about tightening them too much. This guard, it's made of another plastic, which I think it's more elastic from what I can see by touching it. It's more elastic, more flexible. No strange noises coming up from here. Now check out under the seat what we have here. This spare toolkit. We will take a look later. We have here the battery, which is attached with a strap, with a rubber strap, which is very tight. And yeah, there's a mechanism also to take out the battery. What is strange that we have protection here for the plus, but no rubber protection here for the minus. If it usually should come with the two protections, you know, two rubber protections, but who knows, maybe they forgot to put it. The minus, it's uncovered, and the plus, it's covered by this red rubber part. And this is the relay: fuel relay, sub VB relay, engine stop relay, TBW relay, and so on. We have a spare, also a spare fuse. We have spare fuse, 30 amperes, 15 and 10 amperes. Usually the fuses are from 10 up to 30 amperes. All right, let's check out the toolkit, what we have here. I'm very curious to see. Nothing special, I suppose. Okay, the same as it was for the other bike, for my Honda NC. Okay, we have this 19 millimeters. This is for the preload adjustment, you know. Yeah, this should be for the preload adjustment. We're gonna speak about that later. This, you can actually adjust your preload of the front suspension. Okay, what else? Screwdriver, classic one with two possibilities. This helmet strap. All right, what else? This is for the classic fork. This is for the rear suspension preload adjustment, the same as it was for the NC. As my friend Alex said, it would have been nice to just be able to adjust the rear preload with more modern stuff, you know, maybe something here to adjust it, but the access with this key is not so easy. Could be from here. All right, yeah, it's not easy, but it's not so hard, but it's not easy. It's not so easy as it seems. Okay, you have to, you know, find your place and put this here. It's an inconvenient, kind of, but yeah, I can live with it. But still, you know, and basically this is all you get in the toolkit. In this toolkit, everything which you get, that's it. All right, let's move forward. What else we have here under the seat? We have a coolant refill spot. There is a cover by a rubber cap, so actually you can put coolant from here. We have this access to the reservoir, the coolant reservoir. Also, the space around here under the seat, it's pretty decent. So pretty decent considering that you want to just to put some papers, or I don't know, maybe a microphone to record some exhaust sounds. So there is some space here. Maybe we can put something. I think this is also designed to be able to place something here. I don't know, maybe as I mentioned, some papers or something very small. It can fit here. Can also have some rubbers. Also under the seat you have this rubber, something like that. We can attach it. Here is the color. The color code is NH196. And what we have here on the rear, top rear, this is the USB charging plug. It has, you can take out actually this rubber protection, and here you can insert in a very nice way on this rubber inside. You can put a USB-C charger, which is very nice. The placement though is not perfect, but I suppose you can go out with a cable somewhere here and take it out, you know. So This is the USB-C charging unit, and of course here you have the 12-volt charger, which is an optional, and I already ordered it. Somehow maybe there are solutions to come up with this one somewhere in another area more accessible. Let's check out some other features. From what I can observe, the air filter access, it's could be quite difficult, the same as it was on my previous NC. No, I just have to check it. The valve clearance can also be difficult to access. I think the whole fenders have to be removed, and could be that the access is much easier that way with all these plastics. These plastics are definitely easy to remove. These side ones, also this front part, and can be that the maintenance it's easier. We have to check it out. The quality of the gas tank refuel system is quite good. Everything works quite nice. The swing arm looks also very good. Looks very tough, very thick. Also this back part looks very solid. It has a different construction than on the NC. Yeah, it looks quite nice. Also some chain protection over here, which is also very nice. The foot pegs, also they have the possibility to take out the rubber and use them as a kind of pseudo rally foot pegs. I bought anyway the rally kit, so the rally foot pegs will be installed. Hopefully I can use also the rubber on the rally pack. This rubber would be nice to use it because it's very soft when I'm not using it off-road. Yeah, the build quality, it's very good. After you close the seat, you can notice a gap, which is normal because this bike comes also optional with a lower seat version. So the bike is somehow prepared to receive a lower seat version. Therefore, you can see the difference over here. The lower seat comes and covers all this gap around here, and there is also, look here, you can check it out. So this gap is actually covered somehow more when the lower seat version comes. Otherwise the seat fits perfectly and it's quite comfortable. I have to ride it for a few thousand kilometers to have a proper feedback. I don't know the purpose of this bracket over here. Maybe you can leave me in the comment section what is with this bracket from the rear brake lever. The exhaust, as you saw it, this is the design, not bad. Alright, we have this plastic protection here for the rear spring. This one okay, it has a play. We have to also to check these bolts from time to time. This protection is welcomed because yeah, the rear shock will be exposed off-road. Some plastic here. Let's check out the rim. The spokes are very thick, and it's quite good looking rim. This gold rim. These gold rims are DID. They are made in Japan, and they actually they are really looking very nice. They give the bike this premium look. These rims are actually something which this bike which somehow makes this bike complete from the looking perspective, from the visuals, from the design. Many of you are saying that this bike it's ugly. I don't consider that. Okay, the headlight is not the prettiest one. It's kind of sharp, doesn't have too many round lines. The most of the ugliness comes from the headlight, let's be honest, because this headlight is very small. It's very small in comparison with this bike's status. You know, it's I have to check the light during the night, but indeed this headlight, it's quite small. Let's check out something interesting, something which I really like. Is that you have this tail positions like the Africa Twin. Now it's quite nice to have it. Some of you and here we have the top case support, or this comes standard on a bike, and it's very quality made. They say you can put up maximum 8 kilos, but yeah, you know, when you want to travel light with this bike, any top case or hard cases are gonna make this bike even more top heavy. This bike is not top heavy, so as you saw in my previous review, first ride video, it's very easy to maneuver at even from the ground at low speeds. These are also useful for getting the bike, for moving the bike, you know, so it's to attach some with a strap, some soft cases, also it's very good, a backpack. So yeah, it's very useful that the bike comes standard with this one, and I really like it. It's very tough. Also the bolts here are protected. Many of you were concerned about this, the way the exhaust is attached to the frame. You have this bracket over here. This bracket which is attached with 2 bolts and a really strong another bracket which sustains the whole assembly of exhaust. In case you, let's say, lean the bike on the ground on the right side, yeah, it can be that you can actually bend this part. Yeah, but you know, same as in Tenere, also in Aprilia Touareg, same in the V-Strom. Okay, V-Strom has a subframe. We have to check them out, the new V-Strom also, to compare it. Yeah, so this is the way it's attached to the frame. Has 2 bolts, and then yeah, it goes directly into the frame. Let's say first you have this one, and second the shock first taken by this one, and then the other two. It's very difficult to consider this bike without a skid plate and without some engine protections, especially when you want to travel with it off-road, or at least on some gravel roads. All this part is exposed in this case. So now, as you can see, the bike, this is how the bike actually goes out from the dealer, and this is how the bike looks naked, so to speak. And of course you have these pipes which are totally exposed. Okay, we have the ground clearance, the 210 millimeters, but still we have to check out how much are we losing from the ground clearance after we mount the rally pack and the skid plate and everything. And here are the front disc brakes, two of them. The brake, it's very efficient. I mean, it's perfect. The braking is just amazing on this bike. Can you imagine 92 horsepower, they need to be stopped. And yeah, this braking system, it's really impressive. As much as I could have tested it so far. The tires, of course, they are tube tires. Many of you are concerned about tube tires. You are more used like I was with tubeless. Of course, these tires, they look very tough. They are not so soft. They are not so okay, this part, it's a little bit softer, but they are quite tough. At least this is how they are looking. This is how they are feeling. They are quite tough. You can also see here written tube type, Metzler Carew Street. This is their profile. Let's check it out one more time. Not bad at all. Also for the rear it's even more aggressive. They look quite a lot with the Pirelli STR tires, which they are coming on the Yamaha Tenere. I'm planning to use these tires as long as they will last, and then buy the Mitas E07 Plus. Check out the usage indicator, it's quite low, so a lot of meat for these tires, the Metzler Carew Street. The mirrors, they offer quite a good visibility. Also, these are quite thick. This arm, the mirror arm, it's quite thick. Hopefully the paint will be better as it was on my NC 750X. On the NC, the paint was lost after a few years, but these ones, they look okay. Hopefully they will last. Let's check out these buttons. The quality, it's quite good. It's a plastic, they feel like a rubber plastic somehow, a flexible plastic, especially the signal, the turn signal button. It's looks quite okay. These plastic buttons, hopefully they will last. Another thing which I really like is the look and how the build quality is on this handlebar risers, because these are actually handlebar risers, and I suppose you don't have anymore the Honda logo between here, but I think these are very customizable risers. You can actually replace them if you want a higher, more comfortable position. Maybe if you are a taller person and you want to have to mount handlebar risers, I think this design it's more suited to have different handlebar risers if you are choosing to, and if you want a different position on your bike. These are very nice, and they give you space also here to catch something, to put some navigation. Let's speak about the windscreen. It's not adjustable, so I'm sure that the aftermarket they will offer some windscreen risers. There is also an optional touring windscreen, but as I mentioned in my previous first ride, I'm gonna keep this one, ride as much as possible, and then decide, because I want to have more visibility, and this one is a pretty decent, has a decent height, and I would like to keep it for the visibility like that. There we have the radiator, which is in a higher position, not exposed to the dirt so much. I think it's quite well positioned. It has this plastic protection. This is plastic, and over this plastic protection you can install the aluminium radiator protection from Honda. They are offering. I already bought it, and should arrive next week. And you have this plastic anyway that somehow can protect the radiator from bigger objects, but it's just more for design, and don't think it's very practical. The LED signal lights, they are very visible. They are very visible and also very flexible somehow, especially the ones from the back. Especially the ones from the back, they are quite visible, and I'm pretty happy with them. I saw the recordings, and they are very visible, even in the daylight with the sun. So very nice. Yeah, they look quite nice. The levers, let's check them out also. This is the clutch lever. You can adjust it here. You have this adjustment, and also this metal part which blocks the adjustment wheel, so you can actually stick to what you've adjusted. You block this with this this small detail piece that you block this adjustment wheel. Also for the brake lever, you can also put the strength. You have it from 1 to 6, and you can adjust how firm how firm the brake lever will be. By default it's placed at 2. I think it's quite okay, but if you want stronger, or you have a different angle of your hand, you can adjust it from here. Preload adjustment, yes, it can be done also for the front suspension. The key, the 19 key, it's already provided in the toolkit that's presented before, and you can adjust it according to your riding style, according to your riding terrain, and according to your weight. At the beginning, this fork comes just slightly soft. At the beginning you might feel it softer, but you need to ride it first, accommodate yourself, ride it first, let the oil settle down, and then you decide if you need to make it more firm. So if you're riding more in the highways, you can actually make it harder, or in the off-road you can make it softer, depending on your riding style and your riding preferences. This is the lowest point for the bike. It's this oil reservoir, which has a interesting shape. From what you can see, it has this this part which goes, is not straight on the bottom. It goes you know, a little bit down until the exhaust line. Maybe you can see it. So it would have been nice to have it higher, of course, but you know, that's why the bash plate, the skid plate, needs to do its purpose to cover this part, because it's quite exposed. Especially why I'm saying it's exposed, because it has this shape, you know, like this shape. It's also strange when you take up an obstacle. Is not straight on the bottom. You see, it's you know, it's has a different shape. It's like a hammer. So actually, when you hit something, you can actually stop suddenly the bike. The bike can stop suddenly in this lower part, and you know, the damage that can be done not only to the bike but to the rider. You know, like you're entering in a wall somehow. Let's check out the fork. It has this it looks quite thick on this part. It's somehow covered and protected from this plastic, and I really like that. Of course, the rear part is not so protected, but all the mud and eventual water that comes from the front, it at least protects some parts of this front suspension. Something that comes also to my mind when I saw another video from someone with Africa Twin is that this mat guard, the front wheel guard, has quite a very small amount of space in this area, and if you get in the mud, can be that you accumulate mud in this area, and yeah, you can actually risk to block the front wheel. On the front you have some space. It's a decent space in the front here, in the front part, but on the rear it's the same, you know, it's the same thing, that it's too small space on this back part, on this back side. So I don't know, maybe would have been nice that this part to be somehow higher. Let's check out the seat. The seat actually has a good grip. I like the quality of the fabric. It's quite good. Here we have also different fabric on the side, on the rear seat, and yeah, it's quite wide, at least for the pillion. For the pillion, it's even wider than the one from its normal, the one from the rider, and it has also a lot of fabric, a lot of height, so to speak. To open the seat, we have the key. We just open it, and it clamps out from the back, and to take it off you just need to pull back, and that's it. We take off the seat. Just a second, because I'm also filming. But first of all, let's take a look on the seat. It's quite nicely done. It has this rubber bumpers, 1, 2 on the rear, on the middle, also another ones in front. You can also check out how it's mounted in front. Also here you can see it has this clamp, and also here it has some rubber which you can attach something. This is how the seat is looking underneath. and it's yeah, it's quite nice. This is its shape. They could have done it more flat on this part, but it could be worse. So let's face it, it could be worse. I'm glad that it's like that. Some sweet spot, considering that this is actually an original seat. I think it's a decent slope. Not much, not too much. It's a decent slope which they offered actually. All right. If you have any additional questions or unclarities or something which you would like to add, please use the comment section and place your question there. Until the next ride, bye bye.